Hi guys, Mulibuti Mwaiseni to the Zambia Learning Forum 2025, a gathering for change makers and thought leaders from across the world. So come with me right now as we enjoy the forum.
The Out of the Shadows initiative is a very ambitious program, and we must commend Cheshire and partners AAN for bringing it forward, because whilst many of us were still debating whether people with albinism or patients with disabilities and whatnot, Cheshire took a bold step with the Liliane Foundation to begin to develop a program that would help us as a country to actually have a national action plan that responds to protecting the rights of patients with albinism.
Today we come together as advocates, policymakers, development partners, and community leaders.
At Liliane Fonds we have a clear mission. It is to create a world where every child and youngster with a disability can develop to their full potential and participate equally in society like everybody else, free from discrimination, violence or exclusion.
This initiative is a beacon of hope and action, bringing together key stakeholders to address the urgent and long-standing issues faced by persons with albinism.
We are all here this morning as a light, and we must shine that light.
I think if we are to end attacks against persons with albinism, if we are to end the cross-border trade, we need to make sure that we're dealing with all countries, neighboring countries where there is this cross-border trade, where there are killings of persons with albinism. And unfortunately, Zambia is one of those countries.
This forum, therefore, presents a critical opportunity to learn from best practices in other African countries to collectively develop a national action plan that aligns with the African Union Plan of Action on Albinism for 2021 to 2031.
Persons with albinism are not just recipients of human rights defense work. They are human rights defenders themselves in their own right.
Zambia is only in the process of, or rather has only started the process of developing the NAP. We are literally still in the initial stages, and I think for me this is a very good opportunity for Zambia, and the fact that this is the first time we're having something like this and it's happening in Zambia when we're in the process of developing the NAP. What would you recommend to government to do in order for us to maybe curb some of the challenges that you faced with the government in your particular countries? Thank you.
Information is key. What you put down as you are going to draft your action plan, please make it more Zambian than anything else.
One memorable experience in the forum was the issue of data. It is very critical. Yes, we might have the data, but the issue of quality data is key.
I got to learn what other countries like Uganda did in order for them to have their national action plans enacted and adopted by the government. I think for me that was the best, because I got to learn, and I also was challenging myself on how best we, the albinism community in Zambia, could be able to also push the government to adopt our own national action plan in Zambia.
I'm a very practical person. So already while we are here, I've identified 2 or 3 individuals that are from South Africa, and already we have agreed that when we go back home, we're going to convene a session for ourselves to say how can we put together a compelling proposal, right? To have something like this as well. Because if it's working in Zambia, we can also make it work at home as well.
All governments in Africa have a lot to do. And unfortunately, when it comes to persons with albinism, our governments are not doing enough. There's more that needs to be done. we're talking of the lawmakers in Zambia, for example, needing to amend laws, needing to fill the gaps so that rights of persons with albinism are actually protected, better protected.
I would apply what I've learned by doing more advocacy, especially with schools, because children with albinism find it difficult to go to schools, for it is far from where they stay, and also advocate for sunscreen to be in all facilities where people with albinism are, for easy access. And also to advocate that there should be specific teachings for people, for teachers in schools, how to handle children with albinism.
My takeaway for the forum is during the plenary discussion where we talked of the two research that have been done so far in Zambia. That is the access to justice for persons with albinism, and also an evaluation of the social life of persons with albinism. It came at the aspect that we have been facing as in general as persons with albinism when it comes to accessing or going to school, the barriers, the bullying, the discrimination, and also the touching aspect of our lives being at risk where when a person with albinism is killed, nothing much is really done. So for me, it's a takeaway based on my advocacy and issues that I'll be raising in terms of persons with albinism not really getting their justice despite being killed and even being mutilated.
To everyone present here, thank you for your contributions and your unwavering commitment throughout the program. Today, together, let us walk forward with purpose, unity, and hope.
Zambia!